Hey YouTube, Jason here with DayTradingFearless. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. And as always, let's jump right into it. This is the weekly watch list for October 12th, 2020. Last week I said we were probably going to have more upside, which we are. So we're looking at the S&P E-mini futures, and as you can see, we kind of had the pullback right for about a week or two, and now we're marching all the way back up to all-time highs. I guess well, you can't fight the Fed, right? Stimulus, who cares what's going on? Their hopes of stimulus, who knows what's going on, but all I know is the market's bullish. It wants to go higher. Now, with that being said, I said there is going to be a lot of volatility over the next few weeks, which I still believe. Okay, I believe there's going to be a lot of volatility going into the election. So, but that might just be sideways action on a bigger picture, right? Maybe we trade some volatility this, right, and go sideways, or do we see lower prices? As of right now, I'm not going to try and speculate and say where we're going. I'm just going to let the charts do the talking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a trend line like this right here with a channel and match it up with this high right here. And this is essentially what we're trading. So can we make all-time highs? Of course. Will we? Hey, the market looks strong. With that being said, but we know this is a very news-driven market. If Trump comes out with a tweet, the market falls. Next day, it works its way all the way back up and makes new highs. So with that, and that's what I mean by volatility, guys, is we're going to see big up days and big down days intraday, right? So, but this is essentially what we're looking at. If you want, you could see we have a mini inverse head and shoulders right here, right? So you could say this is our neckline. Okay, so with that being said, just grab our Fibonacci extension, go from this low. We'll probably base it right off this high right here, back down, and these are our levels. And look at that 127, the 1618 matches up almost at the all-time high, and then the 200. So these are things to watch for this coming week. Again, be careful out there. Just kind of understand we could have these big up and down days based off any type of news. So let's take a look at SPY. Essentially the same thing. Okay, let's draw a Fibonacci extension from low to high. Here's our levels. Okay, if you want to play along at home, we're probably looking at the we'll say 350, 358, 366, 67 levels, okay, with the workup. But again, just draw your lines. Keep it simple. Don't try and do anything crazy. Like just put these big short positions on. The market is bullish right now, right? We have higher lows. Until a low's taken out from the previous day on the daily, the markets can be bullish. So be really careful with that. But let's draw this and go back here. And this is, again, what we have for our, upward. We can also take one extra trend line, just go from here to here. Okay. And use this as maybe a short-term potential target, which might kind of match up as time goes right up around this 200. So just a couple things to watch and be careful with this week, but the market is bullish. We do have a couple gaps, so keep that in mind. We kind of did gap and goes. Let's take a look at CL crude oil. Very interesting with crude oil. We now have a double bottom. Okay, so if we kind of zoom in here, double bottom, I would take our fib extension, go from low to high just of this, and these are the levels I'd be looking at: 43.50, 45.50, 47.50, somewhere around there. And the 127 kind of matches up where all these highs were. Also, with this double bottom down here, do we have divergence? Yes, we do. That's sometimes a telltale, right? So if we break above here, maybe look to get long for a move higher, but we have to break above, because right now we have a high, a low, a lower high, right? Actually a higher low, so we're still within this range, but price needs to break above this high before we get before crude oil kind of somewhat goes bullish. So we'll leave this on for next week or two and see what happens. So look at a couple stocks. Apple. I've been saying this for a few weeks. Kind of Apple had its little blow off top, I believe, once it did the split. And it's going to become dead money, and that's exactly what it's doing. While the market's kind of going higher, Apple's doing nothing. Okay, had a deep sell-off, but if you look at it, just grab a Fibonacci retracement from high to low, we're only at the 38% fib, right? Extension level, and we're building out this market profile. Okay, nice big volume here, so something to keep an eye on. It almost feels like money's been rotating out of all the tech, your Teslas and things like that. They're really not going anywhere. They're not making new highs while other things are starting to break out. So something to just be very aware of going in to the next week or two. And then finally, let's take a look at JP Morgan. Reason I bring up JP Morgan has earnings this week. A bunch of the banks do. We have nice high volume node right here. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Kind of bigger picture. Grab a couple trend lines right here. Bring this down. Okay, so this is kind of what's going on, right, with the trend lines. So do we kind of roll back over, hit the 200 period exponential and roll back over? Is this a bigger bear flag? I have no clue. We'll have to wait and see. But there is earnings, so if you want to play that game, maybe take advantage of the earnings, go ahead. That's kind of something. So we'll check back next week, see what that does. And then finally, I'm going to leave you guys with a potential trade idea you guys might like. Again, longer term, but more sideways. We've kind of been going sideways, chopping around this 29 level. We're kind of below it. We're at this 28.30 level. A couple trade idea, and again, this is all up to you guys if you guys want to do any type of trade ideas or trades on your own. This is something that I've been looking at. Is I sold some weekly puts, the 26, right? I picked them up for 6 cents. They expire in 2 weeks. The 26, yeah, I think easy money, right? But the trade that I want to discuss that you might want to look at is one of the things is AT&T has a yield of 7.34, pays 52 cents every quarter, just had ex-dividend date, so the next one should be early January of 2021. And think about this as a trade idea. Buy 100 shares, and again, none of this is trade advice, anything like that. It's just an idea, right? Education purposes. But you could buy the AT&T at 28.32. Maybe look to sell the 26 puts, sell the 30 calls, right, against right, collect maybe 66 cents here, so maybe sell this and collect about 64 cents. Net, you'll collect about $1.30, okay, which would lower your cost basis from 28.30 down to about 27, okay. But what you want is by January, the stock to be back up above 30. Yeah, let the stock get taken away from you, because you'll collect off the two options about $1.30. You'll also collect probably one dividend for 52 cents on 100 shares. And you'll also collect about $1.70, right? So you're talking 130, 173, about $3.50 on a $28 stock for the next 3 months if it's above. Worst case, your break even is at 27 even, right? Actually, with the dividend, it would probably be about 26.50. And worst case is you got to buy another 100 shares if we drop below 26, which isn't a bad thing, because you'll take those shares and just kind of redo the same thing, but on 200 shares. And eventually you'll be right. AT&T, it's a big stock. They're not going anywhere. They're not going bankrupt. I don't believe it's going to be a $5 stock, right? They're one of the biggest cell phone providers. So it's just, I think money's flowing other places, but it's a great sideways trade while you wait. So I hope that kind of helps. Maybe I'll start doing these with a weekly watch list, like little trade ideas. Leave a comment down below if you guys like that and all that. And until next time, have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.